Hi, I'm Susan Winter for SusanWinter.net, and I want to ask you all a question because I see a tendency in modern dating. Why are we all so afraid to speak our truth right in the very beginning? If you think it's difficult to say what you want and tell a prospective partner what you're looking for in a relationship, if you think it's difficult before sex, try it after. It's a nightmare. So here's what I'm ending up doing. People like myself are doing the cleanup damage of people that got together, were afraid to speak their truth, hooked up, kept seeing each other, thought it was going well, and then come to a realization some 3 to 6 months later that one person never wanted to be there in that way. Now, I'm the one who's trying to heal the broken heart. And we know that there are no guarantees in love ever, but I would ask all of you to just have the courage to, when you meet somebody, don't be afraid to say, I want this, I want that. Who cares whether it's in fashion? Who cares whether the majority of people agree with that position or not? If you know you want to be married and have children, say, I'm looking to be married and have children. If that person runs, let them run now. See, I think we live in this kind of limitation and fear that the more specific we are, the more we will dissuade a person's interest. But would you have it be the other way instead? Would you rather not say anything, have a person come into your life, get your emotions all wound up, and then head you toward heartache because they never wanted what you wanted? And now you're both in. Now you care for each other, or maybe you just care for them. That's a lot of damage that you don't have to go through. Relationships are hard enough to get them to that point of coupledom. I know another argument for not being specific about what we want is I remember a girlfriend, I actually set her up on an online date. I responded to the guy because I knew she wouldn't. He had stated everything I knew she wanted. So, of course, they dragged me to their first initial date, and she wouldn't say a thing. He would ask her, what do you want? How do you feel about this? Where do you want to live? Do you want to have children? How many children do you want? She wouldn't answer him. We get out of that date. She was horrific. I grab her on the way into the cab and I said, what is wrong with you? He's asking you valid questions. She said, look, if I tell him, he's just going to tell me what I want to hear. Okay, that can happen. We can get fooled, but you, on your end, have done what's right and correct. We shouldn't live under a no-talk rule. If you know you don't do monogamy, I don't do monogamy. If you know you don't do relationships, I don't do relationships. If you know you want to be partnered, you want one person, I want one person. I want to wake up next to the same person every day of my life. Whatever it is, tell the person that you meet before you get into the bedroom, because things get complicated, and after sex, they don't get easier. That's when the games start. That's when the guy who'd like to text you the next day pulls back because he thinks it's going to look too anxious. The girl who wants to thank him for the night out feels like she'll be needy. Now they're both acting weird. They're both responding to each other's weird behavior. You have a greater likelihood of people retracting because you haven't set the foundation for what it is and what you want. And because, quite frankly, you didn't start with honesty, it is really hard to recoup it midstream. So I urge you, no matter what you want, what you know of yourself right now, speak it fearlessly. Yes, you will lose some people on the way. You don't need some people. You need the one person who wants what you want and they want it with you. That's the goal. And you will be much happier in the process. Thank you, Susan Winter for SusanWinter.net. And if you prefer to hear this on podcast, please join me at the Susan Winter Show on iTunes. Thank you.